Welcome to Wildflower Weekly with Ashley Adair. I'm Ashley, and I work as an Ag and Natural Resources educator in Montgomery County, Indiana. We're entering week 11 of our Wildflower Weekly series, and this week we have a couple of interesting updates for you on some plants we looked at several weeks ago, as well as some cameo appearances by plants found in Celery Bog, which is nearby. We're excited to have you. If you're ready to go, let's walk. Spring ephemeral season has ended as we head into the warmer months of summer. We're likely to have fewer floral updates each week as we continue through the summer, but we'll still bring you the latest in wildflowers and keep you up to date with other happenings in the woods. For those of you joining us for the first time, this video series has mostly been discussing spring ephemeral wildflowers. A spring ephemeral is a woodland plant that completes its above-ground life cycle in a short period of time, usually between March and June in Indiana. Now that it's June, we're following up with a few spring ephemeral species that have begun to set seed so that you can see what their fruits and seeds look like. For the remainder of the season, we'll focus on other woodland plants that take over where spring ephemerals left off. These species are far more shade tolerant than spring ephemerals and thrive under full tree canopies like you see here. Let's set the scene. I'm walking at McCormick Woods, a Purdue-managed property near Purdue's campus. This woods was walked on Thursday, June 4th, and the weather was about 81 degrees Fahrenheit and calm if a bit humid. This property is open to the public for hiking and mountain biking and is partially managed by a local mountain biking organization. The image to the left is as seen from the south entrance, which is adjacent to a golf cart path on the Ackerman-Allen golf course. It definitely feels like summer out there. We've had some temperatures in the 90s this week, and it looks like June is going to trend a bit warmer than normal as we head through the month. Just as a reminder, I'm hiking in northwest Tippecanoe County. If you're just as few as 15 miles north or south of me, you could be experiencing different conditions and different stages of plant growth at this time of year. If you have a species that you're wondering about, please feel free to reach out to me for identification. Contact information can be found in the description of this video. Here's how it works. Each slide has information organized in a particular way. Here is the photo, here is the scientific name, and here is the common name. Below the common name, you'll find some interesting facts about how the plant is pollinated, its role in the ecosystem, or in this case, we're showing a transition from flowering to setting seed. We've added an update graphic in the bottom right of some slides to show you what's happening with a flower that we've seen in weeks past. This week we start off with a plant we first saw way back in week 5, Jack in the Pulpit. This plant's flowers have started to fade and are starting to form fruits. These fruits are clustered together at the end of the flower stalk and will eventually turn bright red. Let's take a closer look. It's difficult to see in the image on the left, but on the right you can see that the pulpit has started to fade away and has revealed a few small green fruits that are clustered at the end of the flower stalk. Eventually, these fruits will grow to about 1/4 inch across and turn bright red. Here's a brand new plant to look at, and this one is one of the plants that we went to Celery Bog to find. Arisaema dracontium, green dragon. This plant is a close cousin of the Jack in the Pulpit, but it's uncommon by comparison. The preferred habitat is similar to Jack in the Pulpit, which includes woodlands, but green dragon tends to prefer areas that are closer to springs, pools, and marshes. In the case of Celery Bog, which is actually a marsh, these plants are found as few as 15 to 20 feet away from the water's edge. The flower might remind you of a long snake or dragon's tongue, which we'll see in the next image. This is one of my absolute favorite summer plants to find. We just barely missed the blooming period of this plant, which is similar to Jack in the Pulpit's, but I will get to show you some fruits. Here's an image of the flower from IllinoisWildflowers.info. The flowers of this plant are similar to Jack in the Pulpit in their structure, but the look of them is quite different. The fruits also look very similar to Jack in the Pulpit's, and these will also turn darker to an orangey red color by the end of the summer season. We've got a bug alert. What you're seeing here is evidence of a leaf miner. There are many species of leaf miners. Leaf mining damage is caused by the larvae of a number of different types of insects, including flies and moths, which is what we call the leaf miner. Leaf miners feed on the interior tissue of leaves, which protects them from predators. Leaf miner species are often determined by the pattern that the larvae leave in their wake. These larvae can be destructive to ornamental plants and crop plants, but in the woods they don't do what we would think of as devastating damage. An update on a plant we saw several weeks ago, Allium tricoccum, or wild leek, otherwise known as ramps. There are some interesting little structures popping out of the ground all over the woods this week. So while most ramp foliage has faded away for the year, these plants are beginning to send up flower stalks. Several flowers can be found on one stalk, and each flower will produce one single seed. Let's take a closer look. We'll see these starting to flower hopefully within the next week or so. Blooming period only lasts a couple of weeks, so we'll have to be sure to update you on this one in the next couple weeks. And let's round it out with a second bug alert. Cicindela sexguttata, the six-spotted tiger beetle. These brilliantly colored beetles sometimes have more than 6 white spots on their elytra, or their wings, but it's common to see them with the 6 spots arranged along the outside on the bottom edge of their wings. These plants are known for stalking prey that are right along the trail just at the edges of the sunbeams. They hunt a variety of insects, including caterpillars and spiders. These ferocious beetles reach their adult stage in spring, and then they will mate, dying off before summer's end. If you try to handle one of these, it's likely that they'll bite you, but it probably won't hurt too much. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and practice physical distancing, but make sure to get outside when you can. We'll see you next time.